All right, this is John from Mad Cat Music Review, and we're here today in Long Beach with Philm. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Monsieur.
Dave Lombardo.
I'm Pancho Tomaselli.
Right on. So, most people probably don't realize this, but you guys this has been going on since '96, more or less, right?
Well,
Or the
Jerry and I
roots?
have been working together since '96, and I couldn't continue with the band because Slayer had called me and Phantomus, and there was all kinds of things going on at the time. And but in 2009, Tom Araya from that band, Slayer, and they he went into some kind of surgery, for his spine. And
Right.
Left me with a lot of time on my hands, and I decided to call Jerry up, get the band together, and we were able to get a hold of Pancho, and here we are. The new album, the next album will be out hopefully by the end of this year.
Yeah,
Sooner than later,
Yeah.
actually.
it's been about a year. So May of last year it came out, right?
Right.
The last
yeah.
one?
Yeah.
We're almost up to the anniversary of the album.
We're on a mission of trying to put an album a year.
Oh, wow.
Until it ends.
That's awesome.
So keep us refreshed and creative and not.
Rather than the 3-year breaks that so many bands do these days where you're just...
No.
There's definitely no comfortable level in this band.
No, there isn't.
Musically and everything is different than the regular. Like all of our other gigs. The music is completely. I can't describe it. People ask me, I still don't know.
Don't let them describe it.
Yeah, it's just we just play downbeat and go. Luckily, I get to play with a really great pair of musicians, and that's the camaraderie, and
It's really good.
the musicianship is very, very high. So it's very comfortable to create.
There's so many influences I can hear. There's some, gothic elements. I hear some Sisters of Mercy kind of vibes on there, and then, a song like Mezzanine is just a pure blues. Like I was telling you guys, Dome's got a PIL kind of vibe to it. Sex Amp's kind of got like a Queens of the Stone Age garage rock kind of thing going. I mean, there's just everything that you
it's
can
really
imagine.
odd, and it's not like we're purposely going and pulling from these different bands. This is just coming out from us, probably from all the years of listening to so many different styles of music that we can't help ourselves but to express ourselves in those genres.
Well, I'd imagine this has got to be pretty satisfying because you actually produced and mixed the whole album yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like we all mixed it. We were all in the
I'll give a
room.
credit. His kid, David Lombardo Jr.
He engineered it, right?
Yeah, we just dumped that poor guy, man.
He's
Here
only-
you go. Do you want to make it? Go. And he did it.
And then you
Yeah.
broke your leg, and that kind of probably was a blessing, right?
Yes,
It gave you a little
it was,
more time
because,
to...
Yeah, it gave me a little time, because I'm the kind of guy that likes to run around, I was on ice skates of all things, and now I'm on skateboards, I don't know, I just like to get out and stuff. But yeah, that definitely brought me down to a point where I had to stay at home and chill. And I did.
It happened so fast, though, it seemed,
Yeah.
Like, I remember it happening, but I don't remember you chilling.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
It took me exactly 3 months.
Didn't
it
you
was
just
almost
break your fucking leg?
I was walking at 2.5.
Yeah.
I mean, like, comfortably.
Yeah.
I healed pretty quick.
But it's great. The new album is completely different than Harmonic, our first.
At least
work.
in our perspective,
I think it is. I mean, Harmonic, it had a long trajectory of writing, I would say, between you and Jerry, and then the little bit of I contributed within the last 2.5 years. But this new album, we adopted that mentality of not following what we are leading right now. So it's crazy. In my own ears, it seems completely different. It's still heavy and powerful and aggressive, lots of bass, lots of drums, but it's different. It's not riff heavy oriented. It's not like a lot of screaming oriented,
Right.
but it's powerful. It's really powerful. I don't know.
I think we're playing like 7 songs tonight, 8 songs.
Yeah.
Off the new
7
album?
new ones.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I mean,
some are going to have lyrics and some don't. But we don't care because musically they're just as fun to play
Yeah.
Sure.
without lyrics as they would be with lyrics.
Yeah.
So
we're still in the creative process for this record. I mean, because of like, luckily we're all professional musicians. We're all working besides these projects, with War, with other bands all over the place. So it was really complicated to find a comfortable schedule to get creative, and because when you want to write, you just close the door, you don't shut the phone off.
That's right.
And don't think about the zombies probably wandering already, but you're there, you're like, so it was hard and complex, and I guess due to the nature of having such short time is that the album sounds so eclectic and so different, because it was just like, you call me, say, we got to write the record next week, within 2 weeks, that's it.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, what the fuck? We don't have anything.
Nothing tested on the road. I mean, this was just
nothing tested on the road.
Nothing.
Wow.
Well, the original songs we did. I mean, we did that on that Rob Halford tour. But that was brief.
But for the new material,
no, the new material.
it was just get in, go into this room, hit record, and let it roll, and just like coming out of, like, pouring your hearts out into, and then what Junior, Dave Lombardo Jr. was doing, just grabs and pieces the jams together, makes them take some kind of shape for some songs at least, and we relearn what we did, whatever it was. We relearned whatever jam we were doing, we were relearning it. That's how we put it.
Yeah, we don't have a guy, one of the musicians, say for example myself, I don't come in and, guys, I have a new song. Here it is. You play this.
Yeah.
Jerry will play this, and sing these lyrics. We don't work that way. It's a collective.
sounds more creative.
There's nothing wrong with it, but
no, there's nothing wrong with it, but it becomes one-sided.
Exactly.
And you really don't have.
It's very typical that I'll be just jamming a bass line, and from the other corner of the room, this guy will storm and go, "That's it!"
You take away the structure and you get brilliance.
Yeah.
Like Held in Light, that song Held in Light. I was just doing that. Bam, bam, bam. And you fucking turn around, it's like, that's it!
Don't
touch it!
Keep playing.
And that's how shit happens.
So some of the great Miles Davis Kind of Blue, that was all improv.
all that
and that
shit.
is it's one of the greatest albums ever made,
That's
regardless
right.
of
One
genre.
my
It's
favorite
just,
albums,
What impressed me so much, I think, was with the level of musicianship you guys had, the way you were able to keep the sound so raw. With so many, these days with all the Pro Tools and all the different stuff going in the studio, there's a raw feel to it. It was nice to hear.
Because we achieved that by, I guess, like I always say, take the bull by the horns, and do it yourself. We ended up bringing in a bunch of gear to my girlfriend Paula's house, and we set up this room, with the drums and the amps and everything, and set up some mics, and we went ahead and recorded it, because we just didn't have time for all these, record companies to come around or whatever. And we just did it ourselves. And then, the last person I went to and suggested, the record was to Mike Patton from Faith No More, who has the Ipecac record company.
Right.
And he accepted, which was brilliant.
It's awesome.
That was cool.
Yeah, very pleased, very happy.
I guess artistically, right now if you see an artist that has been doing this art thing for a long time, and then he makes a painting, and it's like his most precious work, and it's just a square and a line.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what the fuck? I can do that. It's so simple,
Right.
Coming back to your question of why we're so raw, I think we've gone around the circle, where we've gone around the world a couple of times. This guy like 10, and musically, around the world for the point that we're right now. What feels good is what's simple and what's raw and what comes from the heart. We can sit down and write charts all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Write the charts and
complicated music you wanna imagine,
we can
you
do
can
it.
imagine.
I mean, but we leave that to Meshuggah and all those guys. Music is where we're free, and it feels great. It really flashes me back to when I was 15, dude.
Yeah.
Just plug your bass as loud as you can and hold on to that drummer, dude. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Go, dude, go. It feels like that.
So is that a conscious decision to downsize? Because you're playing a 4-piece drum set, which is pretty small for you.
Conscious, yeah, it was conscious. It was something I've always wanted to do. You know, because I mean, when the band started in '95, I had left Slayer, I think, in '92. So I got to get with Jerry in '95. And at that time, all I was known as is just being a metal drummer. And I felt that I listened to enough different styles that I was a bit more than just a metal drummer. So that's
Absolutely.
it. It's just simple. And you know, stripping down the kit to a 4-piece was the most obvious way to achieve that. And, you know, by that standard, you know, it just limits your playing, and then you seem to find other ways to express yourself instead of with the big drum set. Bringing in the big double, you know, the double bass, you know, is not there anymore. So it is sometimes frustrating because you're like, oh, I could use that section here, or a double bass part here, but it just has you find other ways to, you know, makes you find another way to achieve what you're looking for.
You've definitely taken the adage of less is more and made it to be true. I mean, the sounds you guys have gotten on harmonic is just, it's brilliant.
You really, because we got ourselves a rehearsal space,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for the first time. Because before, all we did was rehearse at my girlfriend, Paula's house. And so, you know, we really didn't get to gel as much as we did now within the past probably 6 months.
Yeah, just to be able to go to the room and lock the door and just come out of there 4 hours later, you know.
Yeah,
It feels good.
it's like having an art studio.
And it develops some kind of a musical partnership and friendship that translates very well into the music we play, you know, being just a trio, you know. We don't play on top of each other, but
God forbid.
we supplement, yeah, we supplement each other's parts. Like, I find myself a lot of times not following what the guitar is different, but doing something that will go with it, you know, so that way I just don't go to default. Okay, let me do the same riff, you know. And our guitars are tuned different. My bass is tuned completely different than Jerry's guitar, so it adds to like the, I don't know, man. It just happened. I guess it's just happened. There's no explanation. It's just, he called
Whatever
me.
felt
Yeah.
right. I mean, it's just whatever felt right to us, you know.
When you guys have been,
musically, and
I mean, I was supposed to be doing this when I was 18. You know, we're around the world with my rock band. I'm almost 40 and I'm doing it. So it's just when things happen, they just happen.
well, speaking of that, you both have toured just about everywhere. Would you say there's a difference between the crowds in America as to other places? Because when a lot of the videos I watch, I almost feel embarrassed. I see the crowds are just so into it in other places, and then here, you know, in America, people are on their phones or dicking around. It seems like there's more of
spoiled
a
in
intense,
America.
right? Yeah.
That's what it is. The thing about other countries, us being from the third world, is when you're in, let's say I grew up in Ecuador, and when you're in Ecuador and someone famous comes to Ecuador, it's like, fuck, you might not see this guy again. And you know, so you take that with you, and then you go and you see the show. You
It's
know,
it's a pilgrimage.
oh
just
yeah,
Yeah, I see, yeah.
Oh, Dave Lombardo. Yeah, he lives in L.A. somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
It's like,
Right.
that's why like we're opting right now to start breaking ground
In
know,
Europe.
In Europe.
Which we have.
Yeah.
The
More,
demand
I
is,
guess. It's huge.
It's amazing.
It's better.
I mean, the response
And
and
it
demand we're getting for Europe now is.
You guys are off to
beyond what I
Greece,
expected.
right?
Greece, Turkey.
Turkey.
Rome. Yeah, Athens,
Amsterdam.
Istanbul, Rome, Zurich, Holland. That's it.
And then back to LA, back to Hollywood in May.
Holland. Eindhoven and Amstelveen.
Switzerland.
Zurich.
Zurich.
I got him.
You got 'em.
I got him.
And then
And
freaking
then
Cinco de Mayo celebration at
Yeah.
the Roxy with Metalachi.
Yeah, I saw that. You guys are coming back to Hollywood.
How can we say no to that gig?
Right?
It's like,
Right?
yes.
That's classic.
When? Yes. Done. And it's that one only gig that
Right.
in this year that I don't have a Cinco de Mayo gig with War because we have a song called Cinco de Mayo.
Right.
So every Cinco de Mayo, even if it's the 7th of May, it's Cinco de Mayo.
well,
But it's
that
all
whole,
good.
whole weekend.
It's the whole enchilada, dude. But it's all good. I think we're just doing what we've seen throughout history that happens. How American artists fled to Europe to become famous. Miles did it. All the jazz guys were treated
Sure.
like slaves here. They go to Europe, they're kings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever that comes from Europe into the States is received different. War went on with Eric Burden and became famous in England with Spill the Wine.
Yeah.
And came here and now they're big. So we're going to follow that route and see what happens. Let the spoiled
Spoiled LA fans
want
wait.
it,
Yeah,
want it a
that's
little,
exactly
you
right.
know?
Because that's kind of the attitude. It's like, oh, I couldn't get Maiden tickets. I'll be around next year. You know,
Exactly,
it's-
man. If I could not get Maiden tickets, I remember in Venezuela, I would fucking cry, dude. Like, that's it. I'm going to see him ever again.
right? Yeah.
And you get 50,000 kids into a show.
Oh, it's amazing. It's got to be. I mean, it looks incredible. You guys both came up in the 70s, or at least I would imagine musically. That's where you started kind of getting turned on to different things. What were some of your earlier influences?
Cream, Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Jimi Hendrix, Deep Purple, and that's because of the drummers. You know,
Ginger
Space,
Baker, Bonham.
Bonham,
Bill
Mitch
Ward.
Mitchell, Bill Ward, yeah.
Sure.
Ian Pace. I mean, I got into those guys really early, but then I was into listening to radio a lot. I would surf the radio channels because that was my only outlet to different styles of music.
So you must have heard a lot of disco going
A lot
on.
of disco, a lot of dance music.
That's where that groove comes from, I bet, that I hear with you guys.
You know, asking friends, hey, have you heard this song? You know, and they wouldn't know what I'm talking about. A week later, 2 weeks later, you know, it's hitting everywhere.
Hmm.
I was kind of like the lighthouse for music. It's like, hey, what's going on? What are you
Right.
listening to? What's new out there?
Yeah.
It's cool.
And musicians. I mean, I'm so glad that he thinks like that because we were just talking about this. And, how he could have gone and fucking called Marilyn Manson and like all whomever he wanted to form a creative outlet.
Mhm.
But he much rather go into the ghetto of Los Angeles and get himself some players. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
Way to do
are
it.
not
Some
famous,
real
that
honest
are not-
musicians that love to
Honest
play.
musicians, because you
all
don't get
about music.
you get real big egos when you're dealing with other musicians. High expectations.
That's got to be tough to see too. Like starting out, I'd imagine in the early days it's all one big family, and then somehow it just gets splintered along the way. I think with a lot of
it
bands.
does. And this way it's real. You're playing with musicians that love music and aren't just doing it for the notoriety or the income, and everything that starts off at the bottom is not going to generate that much income. So it's going to take a little while.
Right.
If you're patient and you want to work it out, then the payoff will start coming.
That's for
But
sure.
you can't expect it, and some musicians, expect that from the get-go. It's like you can't.
Yeah, but I mean, we are a band that is very like artsy and friendly, but we take our business very serious.
Hmm.
We don't fuck around when it comes to the business side of it. The same way we're on stage, 100%.
Hmm.
That's how we are about our business, and that's why things right now are happening because big corporations who, they can see a serious band, they can see an amateur band.
Right.
And it has helped, with Monster, with my signature deals, and with his endorsements, and just picking up the phone and calling and getting gigs,
Absolutely.
So it's like something that a lot of bands don't take in consideration.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work
It takes a lot of work.
to do a band. I mean, I'm sometimes, sending emails off. I'll spend a whole afternoon, 5-6 hours from the time I wake up, working on emails, on the phone, or sending emails from rehearsal. Hold on, guys, I gotta take this call.
Bottom line,
And
no.
some people just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They expect others to do it. Hey, I thought we were gonna make it to the top, man. We'll work at it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's
We're going off on tangents here. I don't know. We're just having a nice conversation.
Yeah, no, that's what it's all about.
It's nice. It's nice outside. But yeah, so that's it. We're a serious band. We like to work. you know, to support our families, and we like to play music for reals. We like to party too. We're not all uptight and shit. We're just serious.
You know those people that don't party, they're all uptight.
Yeah, they're all uptight. You know, we're just serious. You know, that's all.
Where did the name come from? Philm with a PH.
I know.
Just
I don't
just
know.
one of those things. Just kind of sounded good.
It's one of those weird things. I don't know. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Right on.
You know, we try to find meanings and connections, and I don't know. I don't know where it came from. It's just one of those things. You know, we can make up a story and say, you know, like Jerry says in that video, oh, you know, it's the film on top of the beer, the foam, the foam.
Yeah, it's
I'm like, dude.
some people like try to put a definition to everything.
Yeah.
Overanalyze things.
Well,
Yeah.
you come up with something and then write us an email.
There you go.
All right.
Film means this.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah, man. So, well, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight, and
We will for sure.
wear earplugs.
Where can so for those out there that want to find out more about you guys and Philm, where's a good place to find you guys on the web or whatnot?
Facebook is good.
Facebook and Twitter, we're very active.
Yeah.
Active tweeters.
And that's Philm with a PH.
Yes,
That's right.
correct.
Yeah, no, and it's not phlegm either.
Yeah.
Look up the way you spell
Yeah.
phlegm.
PHILM.
How do you spell phlegm?
PHLEM.
Philm.
How do you spell film?
FILM. Your band?
phlegm.
PHILM.
How do you spell phlegm?
PHLEM. No?
F, right?
Well, you got to give me a spelling bee.
PHLEGM.
Phlegm.
Really?
Yeah.
I teach English. That's sad. I didn't know that.
There you go.
Phlegm.
Wow.
You see, 100% and drums and grammar.
Yeah.
I know. I just got schooled.
By one and only.
I might need a sub on Monday. I'm going to call you.
Hey, man, don't air this. Your students will see it and then complain.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time, Pancho.
worries, man.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
Philm, check them out online. These guys they're awesome. What can I say?
Just chilling.
So where are the chips and salsa?